Hey guys, dark side of the light chasers. What do I mean when I say that? So there's so many taboos and things that we trip over on our spiritual journey and our journey of life. And one can be when we absolutely refuse to accept, look at, love, listen to our shadow aspects. The parts of us that we tend to be ashamed of, we wish they didn't exist. We don't want anyone to see it. And there's this belief that if people see this aspect of me, this version of me, they'll go running for the hills. People won't love me. They'll turn their backs on me. They'll leave. I'll be abandoned. Like there's all these things. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. The power, the self-love, self-compassion, and self-acceptance that comes with ceasing to run and turn right towards your shadow and allow it to be. Allow it to be seen. We don't try to change it, heal it, fix it, clear it, none of that. Be with it. Let yourself see, let yourself look. Let yourself love. For a really long time, I was one of those light chaser people, and I'm a double Scorpio. Like the level of my intensity is pretty profound. And as a Scorpio, I do like to dig around in the dark. I am not scared to go into dark places, spaces, realms, and excavate, do some digging. But when it came to myself, I refused. I refused. And my shadow was manifesting unwanted realities in my life and was actually my absolute denial of it was affecting my love life, my relationships, my wealth, my vitality, my well-being, a lot of things. And one day, one fateful day, I was in a session, and I guess that day I was ready to really meet my shadow, because she revealed herself to me. And I was taken aback. I didn't even know what to do with this version of me, because she was the antithesis of creation. She was a destroyer. She was Kali. She was Lilith. She was and is a bad ass. And my first inclination was to heal, shift. And I heard such a resounding, loud voice in my head that was not my own voice, that was like, no, be with, observe, watch her, just be with her, just hold space for her. And I did. I had a huge shift, and things in my life started to transform in a really amazing way. And I realized that my shadow and my denial of my shadow was blocking me from a lot of the major things that I really wanted in my life. And I couldn't understand, with all the healing and the clearing and the things that I had done, why are these parts of my life, like the door is shut, sealed, locked, key thrown away, like what's going on? And it was once I met my shadow, held space, didn't try to change her, simply observed and witnessed and hung out, everything started to change. Because she was starting to act like a saboteur. Oh, those things that I really wanted so bad. She's like, you don't want to see me? You don't want to acknowledge me? You don't want to listen to me? You want to run for me? You want to resist me? You want to stuff me down? Well, here's a whole bunch of blockages to the things you most want. And you're not going to get them until we sit down and have a face-to-face, a heart-to-heart, and a get real, come to Jesus kind of moment. Everything started to shift. You know, we all have you have masks that we wear. We have identities that we've taken on. And we have parts of our personality that we tend to suppress, resist, run away from, deny. And we call this the shadow. And it's the part where our negative beliefs about ourselves and others seem to dwell here. There's a lot of inversion, distortion, untruths that are held here. But we must look at those. We have to unpack that. For us to really know ourselves and begin the journey of healing and self-love, that journey is an all is welcome here party, not we get to pick and choose the parts of us that go to that party, because everyone and everything is welcome. And real elevated consciousness and energy and vibe loves it all, no matter how messy, chaotic, dark it may look. We go much further when we are willing to be with all of it, just sit with it, marinate around an end of it, or a lot. And magical, beautiful things start to happen. You know, shadow work is actually some of the most fulfilling work I've ever done, and I ran for it for so long. It's okay. It was part of my journey to run from it and to deny it. But when we start to accept and be with our shadow aspects and listen to these different versions, because there's tremendous wisdom going on if we have the ears to hear, it begins to bring us into amazing personal growth, well-being, the deepest, most integrated, embodied healing. You know, when we sit with our shadow, we're shining light on these darker parts of our being, and it's the most fulfilling thing you'll do. Other than if you have children and raise children, being a parent, that's probably, it's like right up there. But be a parent and show up to your shadow the way you would your children. It'll take you far. It helps us to deal with and overcome past trauma. It can help us realize the source of our negative beliefs, the distortions, the stories and narratives that we've bought and sold to ourselves as true that are not true. And help us to overcome some of our like worst habits, addictions, and, you know, a lot of these memories that we have like long forgotten and we've been suppressing. We can allow those to come up. It's not going to annihilate us. We're not going to die. So working with the shadow helps us to lead a more balanced life, accepting emotions as they arise, deriving the message from each of our emotions that the emotion is trying to give you a message. And we're able to allow, a tsunami of emotion to well up and just pass like a wave in the ocean. You know, there are too many benefits of doing shadow work for me to list, but some of the highlights that I noticed: self-love and self-acceptance, overcoming generational trauma, more awareness of my emotions and triggers, peace of mind, and more general happiness, because we don't have the shadow working in the background to sabotage all the things that you really truly want in your life. Become much more compassionate towards yourself and others in all life. I found like just improvement in my social interactions and my relationships in general, because I wasn't trying to hide any parts of me anymore. And with that comes great freedom. Because when we're walking around with these different masks and like these parts of us that we've kind of made on so that we can get through life and be accepted and loved and all of those things, the shadow, there's nothing to hide anymore. So your fear reduces, your anxiety reduces, because you're not trying to hide any part of you. And then you start showing up in your authenticity, the real, messy, this is me. There's such freedom with that. There's such freedom in that. We become unstuck in so many ways. And our shadow, what I came to learn about my shadow, is she was one of the most powerful aspects of me. And I was ashamed of her. And I didn't want anyone to see her. I thought people wouldn't love me or accept me or like run for the hills if I allowed all of that. So do yourself the most amazing favor ever and take one giant leap in the direction of your self-love journey, your healing journey, manifesting all the beautiful, beautiful goodies you came here to manifest. Sit with your shadow. Ask your shadow what they think about various things. Ask their shadow how they came to come to whatever perception or narrative or story they have. And I found that a lot of aspects of my shadow were simply trying to protect me. They were trying to protect me. So there's so much treasure to be found in working with your shadow. And if you want someone to hold your hand and guide you through it, I can be your girl. I love doing shadow work now. And Miss Cheryl, the activation we're doing tonight is spiritual gifts and intuition. So if you're ready for like your gifts for healing and your psychic gifts and more abundance, self-love, compassion, all the goodies, if you're looking to experience more of that, you'll want to meet me tonight for the activation. I'll put links to my shadow work offerings and the activation that I'm doing tonight from 5 to 6 Mountain Time, 7 to 8 Eastern Time. It's going to be recorded. It's going to be amazing. You don't want to miss it. So here is to accepting our shadow, working with our shadow, allowing our shadow to have a voice, and it actually becomes one of the most greatest assets you'll ever find. So I'm excited for you to start integrating and working with your shadow. Best decision.